What up, guys? I figured I'd do my own coilover video like everyone else has. So I got a set of Fortunato 500 Generation 7 with the DSG Edition from DSG Performance. Those guys are great. They've been helping me out a bunch. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to unbox them. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep them before they go on the Evo with some of this Shield T9. So right out of the box you get a dyno graph or dyno of the coilovers, the shocks. I don't understand any of this, but they're reputable, so I'll take their word for it. Next you get a bag of goodies. So you got the mask, you got a cool sticker, and you got basically what's like a birth certificate of assembly of the coilover. So it's for the Evo 10. It's built by Cami Luz. I can't read that, but thank you whoever built it. It was built in 2020. This was in DSG's shop for quite a bit, so that's why they were built that time, and I bought this in December of 2020. But yeah, I got 9K front and rear. That's what DSG recommended. My car is just used for daily driving and spirited driving, so yeah. And then you have a user guide. You got your 2 spanner wrenches and your 2 Allen keys here. The small one is for the adjustment knob for taking it off. I think for putting the rear extenders on. But yeah, so that's that. Here's the rear extenders that I got. Okay, I already opened up these, so most of my excitement has disappeared, but it does make me happy every time I pull one out, so I'm going to pull one out again. This is one of the rears. They're absolutely gorgeous, by the way. I think that's just new car parts in general. But, yeah, so DSG Edition, Fortunato Generation 700. But yeah, so 9K upgraded Swift spring. It's got AMSOIL for the fluid instead of the regular oil that they use. And then all the other Generation 7 components. So these are 24-way adjustable, so that's one of them. Grab one of the fronts. Here's the front. They come with the studs and nuts for the I think it's wheel sensor or wheel speed sensor or brake line bracket, and then it's got the camber plate up here, and they do come with their own nuts as well. They're very nice. Weigh these out. I think the fronts are 12 or 11 pounds and the rears are 10 pounds. But yeah, so I'm just get started. I'm gonna shield pretty much all the exposed threads and the threads in here. I originally was gonna apply anti-seize silver grade, but that's because I couldn't find this stuff. So this stuff is pretty much made by the Boeing company, so they use it on airplanes. So obviously they have a good reputation. I believe they are supposed to, yeah, it turns into a waxy film that repels water. So from what I've heard, people have had great experience with this stuff. So just because when they're going on my car, it's March right now. I live in Canada, and the area I live is right by the mountains, so the weather's all over the place. So the snow's melting right now, but it's going to snow again next week, and I don't have my summer wheels yet. They're coming in hopefully June, so I can have them for the summer. I'm going to get started with taking this out, and then I'm going to do all of them and let it dry and sit, and then we'll go install the coilovers. So all I did was just run this down on all the threads. I'm going to be doing the same for others. What I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to move this. I have the spray. I'm going to do the spray here. I'm going to spray in this screw. This is the preload. So the rear struts, you're going to adjust them by 1/8 of an inch. And then for the fronts, you're going to adjust them by 1/4 of an inch. So if the spring is 7 inches, you're going to increase it or decrease it so the spring goes from 7 inches to 6 3/4. And then this is going to be 6 7/8. So yeah. Okay, so I just finished all of them, all the threads. I accidentally oversprayed, so hopefully it's not going to cause any issues. Try to wipe off as much excess as I can. This stuff is really greasy, but the threads are definitely coated, so there shouldn't be any corrosion going on in there. I just set the preload for the fronts here at 6 3/4 because it's a 1/4 inch. Springs are 7 inches, and then for the rears, I did 6 7/8 because it's 1/8 for the rear. So it's just an Allen key right here that loosens it, and then you use your spanner wrench to loosen or tighten. And then for this one, you just use your spanner wrench to tighten once you get your height figured out, and then you use a flat. I recommend using a flathead with a cloth, and then you hammer it down tight instead of just trying to crank it tight. People can do it crank tight, but if you want to be extra safe, you should use a flathead and a cloth and a hammer to make sure that this is really tight. But then yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna wait for these to dry, and then we'll go over to the car.